What if I told you? Some football records may never be broken, not because players aren't talented, but because one man pushed the limits so far that no one may ever reach them again. Over 900 career goals, the greatest scorer in history, the king of Europe, the master of big moments. This is not just a story about goals. This is the story of records that may never fall. This is the legacy of Cristiano Ronaldo. How did one player maintain elite scoring for over 20 years? Scoring goals is the hardest thing in football. Defenders adapt, goalkeepers evolve, tactics change. But Cristiano Ronaldo kept scoring, relentlessly. From his early days at Manchester United, where he transformed from a flashy winger into a lethal finisher, to his historic era at Real Madrid, where he became a goal-scoring machine. Then to Juventus, where even in a new league, new system, and new country, he dominated again. What makes this record truly cinematic is not just the number, it's the evolution. Early career, speed and dribbling. Prime years, power and precision. Later years, positioning and intelligence. Different styles, same outcome, goals. Even as football became faster and more tactical, Ronaldo adapted, reinvented himself, and kept scoring. That is why over 900 goals is not just a number. It's a timeline of dominance. Why does Ronaldo become unstoppable on Europe's biggest stage? There is something different about Champions League nights. The lights are brighter, the pressure is heavier, the stakes are higher. And in these moments, Cristiano Ronaldo becomes something else. He is the all-time top scorer in the UEFA Champions League. But numbers alone don't tell the full story, because these goals didn't come in easy matches. They came against Europe's best defenders, the strongest teams, the most intense atmospheres. He scored hat-tricks in knockout stages. He carried teams through impossible comebacks. He delivered when everything was on the line. One of his most iconic performances came against Atletico Madrid, when he scored a hat-trick to overturn a deficit almost no one believed possible. That is what separates Ronaldo, not just scoring, but scoring when it matters most. What makes Ronaldo the greatest international goal scorer ever? Playing for your country is different. It's not just about football. It's about pride, pressure, expectation. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just represent Portugal. He carried it. From a young age, he became the face of a nation. And over time, he built a record that stands above all, the highest goal scorer in men's international football history. But what makes this record even more cinematic is the context. Portugal was not always a dominant football nation. They didn't always have the strongest squad, but they had Ronaldo. And time after time, he delivered. Free kicks, headers, penalties, last-minute goals, moments that lifted an entire country, and perhaps his greatest international achievement, leading Portugal to victory in the 2016 European Championship. A moment that completed his legacy. Is this the most impossible record in football history? In the 2013-2014 Champions League season, Cristiano Ronaldo did something extraordinary. He scored 17 goals in one single campaign. To understand how difficult this is, most top strikers struggle to reach 10 goals in a season. Ronaldo nearly doubled that, against the best teams in Europe, under maximum pressure. And he didn't just score, he dominated every stage, group stage, knockouts, final. This wasn't just a great season, it was perfection. Why does Cristiano Ronaldo become unstoppable when the pressure is highest? In football, there are moments that define careers. Finals, last-minute penalties, knockout matches where one mistake ends everything. This is where most players feel pressure. But Cristiano Ronaldo? He feeds on it. Across his career, Ronaldo has scored in multiple major finals, including the UEFA Champions League, where every second carries weight. But what makes him different is not just the goals. It's when he scores them. Decisive penalties under extreme pressure, hat-tricks in knockout stages, comeback performances when his team needed him most. One of the most iconic examples came in 2019. Facing Atletico Madrid, his team was trailing 2-0 on aggregate. The pressure was unbearable. The expectations were massive. And Ronaldo responded with a hat-trick, single-handedly turning the tie around. That night wasn't just about skill, it was about mentality. Because in moments where others hesitate, Ronaldo commits. Where others doubt, Ronaldo believes. And that belief has made him one of the most clutch players in football history. How did Cristiano Ronaldo achieve numbers that seem impossible at Real Madrid? When Cristiano Ronaldo joined Real Madrid in 2009, expectations were already sky-high. But what followed exceeded even the wildest predictions. 450 goals in 438 games, more goals than matches. A statistic that doesn't just impress, it shocks. Season after season, Ronaldo delivered numbers that seemed unreal. 40-plus goals per season, multiple 50-plus goal campaigns, consistent match-winning performances. But his impact went beyond goals. He transformed Real Madrid into a Champions League dynasty, winning 4 Champions League titles in 5 years, a period of dominance rarely seen in modern football. And within that era, Ronaldo wasn't just part of the system. He was the system. He became the team's leader, the focal point of attack, the player defenders feared most. Every time Real Madrid needed a goal, all eyes turned to Ronaldo, and more often than not, he delivered. How did Cristiano Ronaldo stay at the top while others faded away? Football is unforgiving. Players rise quickly, but they fall just as fast. Injuries, fatigue, age, all of these end careers. But Cristiano Ronaldo did something different. He adapted. In his early years, he relied on speed and dribbling, explosive runs down the wing, beating defenders with skill. But as time passed, he evolved. He became a clinical finisher, a master of positioning, a dominant aerial threat. Instead of losing effectiveness, he became more efficient. And behind this evolution was discipline, strict diet, daily training routines, recovery sessions, sleep optimization, everything calculated, everything controlled. That is why, even in his late 30s, Ronaldo remained competitive at the highest level. Longevity like this is rare, because it requires more than talent. It requires total commitment. Which of Ronaldo's records are truly untouchable? In football history, records are constantly broken. New players emerge, new talents rise, but some records stand above the rest. Cristiano Ronaldo holds multiple records that may take generations to challenge. All-time top scorer in the UEFA Champions League, most goals in international football history, 17 goals in a single Champions League season, over 900 career goals across competitions. But what makes these records almost unbreakable is the combination required to achieve them. Elite performance, extreme consistency, longevity across decades, mental strength in high-pressure moments. It's not enough to be talented. It's not enough to have one great season. To break Ronaldo's records, a player would need to be great for 15 to 20 years. And in modern football, that level of consistency is nearly impossible. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just break records, he changed what we believe is possible. And that is why his legacy will never fade. If you enjoyed this documentary, like, subscribe, and share, because legends like this deserve to be remembered.